I had the most amazing teacher in second grade, Mrs. Johnson. Absolutely adored her. And she was so sweet and so kind to me. And a funny story, we were watching, oh, I think it was Sleepy Hollow, Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and it was the animated version. And I remember being so scared while we were watching it in class, the Headless Horseman. And she'd say, "Oh, come on over by me." And she'd sit next to me and she'd hold my hand. And she was just an amazing teacher. And I kind of wanted to be like her.
Tell us about your original plan when you went to college and how it changed.
Well, my original plan was to go into business. And I think the more I think about it, maybe that was something more my father wanted. And so, being that this was said and taught and mentioned as I was growing up, I felt like that's what I wanted to do. However, after taking many different courses, I realized that it was not for me. I wasn't doing as well academically in those classes. And it wasn't until I took a sociology of religion class, and it was just the most fascinating class to me in terms of learning about different people and how religion plays in part to their culture and their identity. And so that's when I thought, you know what, I think this is for me.
What's the most important part of your job as a school social worker?
I think for me, it's the connecting to students, and not even just to students, because I work in a school. I interact with my colleagues as well, but it's that connection piece. And for me, a lot of the kids that we work with, especially here at our school, they may come from a single family. They may not have a lot of resources. I've had kids who told me they've never even gone to the movies before. So I think being that initial contact for them is so important on such a large scale, and really letting them know that you can be anything you want to be in this world. And a lot of times I share my own personal stories coming from Jamaica, which is, considered a third world country in a lot of aspects in terms of like economy and, jobs and employment. But I share those personal things with students because I want them to know there's more than just what's in front of them or more than what they see at home. And so that connection piece is so important for me and the students.
Take us back to when you're 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you are told, we are leaving Jamaica and we are going to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Were you excited about the adventure? Were you apprehensive about, what was your thought at that point in time when you were told, we're leaving home?
I mean, I was very scared. I didn't want to go, not at all. But what I remember from that experience, so we arrived in the nighttime. So being, this little kid on an airplane for the very first time, I had the window seat, and the first thing I saw before we were landing were all these lights, like more lights than I'd ever seen. And so it was just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so cool. This is so different from what I was used to being in Jamaica. So I think, although I was a little scared, I was kind of looking forward to what was going to happen next. So, now looking back, it was a good thing that I came here. I really feel like I've gotten so much more out of life in having the opportunity for education, more so than what I would have gotten if I had stayed in Jamaica.